Alright, guys, we're here. We're watching episode 12 of Madoka Magica. It is the final episode. I am watching the movie too, of course, but this is the final episode of the original anime. Um, I guess, just everyone, we know what's happening. We know it's going down. I really hope everything is gonna be okay. Even though I don't think everything is gonna be okay for Madoka. But I guess we'll just see. I am praying to God that we're gonna have like a happy ending. That's all I want. That's all I want in life is just for everything to work out. I like everyone's dead or has been going through immeasurable suffering for who knows how long. And I hope we can fix that. That's all I want. I've already given up on hope of Madoka like God, I don't know. I talked about it a lot in the last discussion, so just listen to that. I'm just really depressed because I know what's going to happen. I know that Madoka's going to sacrifice herself, and that, God, whatever. We got to watch it. We got to do it. I'm not ready, but we're watching episode 12 of Madoka Magica. You can line you and copy up with this if you want to. We are starting in three, two, one. Yeah, yeah. Then what has she done on this for? Yeah. I mean, I guess. I don't know how. I mean, no, I mean, I sure. You can't trust him, but I'm sure he is. Okay. Oh man. Oh, all right. Yeah. I mean, like, what is that gonna do? I mean, that's gonna like that's just like what? Like if we're going, yeah. Because I mean, we just talked about what magical girls have done throughout history, right? I mean, what is this gonna do? Right? I mean, obviously, it's gonna completely change the entire universe and everything that exists, right? So, like, my very best friend. Oh, okay. Oh, is this mommy? Yeah. Oh, it does? I guess, yeah. She is the one who has to fulfill her wish, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, from when she was drawing what she wanted to look like. Oh. It's that easy, huh? Oh. So, oh. Is this gonna be including Homura? Yeah, throughout the entire universe, everything that's ever happened, right? Mm. But then I just like I assume this is gonna. Oh, is she on the moon? I was gonna say, I mean, this has to just completely change. Yeah, it has. Yeah, yeah. Just the entire universe, the timeline, everything just has to be completely different, right? Oh, so does she? She gets to like still exist because of her time magic. Man, it's only natural. That's what Kyoko would say. But again, like, I mean, the despair might still exist, but it's not It's not equal for everyone, right? It's not like what she's doing has no purpose. Hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's just like paradoxical, right? So, yeah, I mean, what? Like, what about what Homer has done all this time, you know? This is her paying you back, right? It's what she needed to know. Hmm. It's like when they were talking about mommy disappearing, how Madoka would remember her still. The ribbons. I oh, Kyosuke. Sayaka here? Oh. Oh. But like, it's not like, are none of them gonna exist? But she got, but like Sayaka got what she wanted, having Kamijo healed, right? Yeah. Oh. Way of the cycle. Well, does she still remember? I assume so. Yeah. Does he still remember too? I mean, is this Yeah. No reason to hate him anymore, I guess. Wraiths. Yeah. Hmm. It's like an actual something for them to defeat that isn't witches, right? It's not despair caused by other people, I guess, right? Oh. Yeah. It's like she said she'd never forget you. Is that okay? No, there's more at the end. Oh god, dude. I like I don't know. It's like it's really hard for me to accept this. Like I mean, again, if Homura can accept it, it feels really silly for me to be like, oh, I can't. Madoka means a lot more for Homura than she ever did for me, right? It's just like, I mean, it's like what Sayaka was saying in the episode after Mommy died, or no, was that the episode after Mommy died? Maybe it was the episode where Mommy did die, where they were agonizing over the fact that they didn't have a wish that they could make, right? And Sayaka brought up the fact that she thinks it's normal that a lot of people would have a wish that they would give their life up for, you know? So I guess it really is true, right? Like in this situation, this is certainly a wish that Madoka had that it's worth giving her life up for. I can't disagree with that. That doesn't mean it doesn't like suck that she just doesn't exist anymore. That her own mom doesn't remember her. Don't forget, always somewhere, someone is fighting for you. As long as you remember her, you are not alone. Ooh. Hmm. Okay. That was somewhat ominous. Oh god, it's over. It's over. How is it over? Okay. Um we'll talk about it in the discussion. Alrighty, it has been like 30 minutes. I had to eat, but that gave me some time to think. Um I mean that was really good. I am, I am happy with the ending, I suppose. It really hurts my soul, just like I knew it would. Just like what um it's just Madoka, right? Just her not existing. I mean, to me that's just so awful, just that she's not. But I here are the things that make it less awful for me, right? God. The first like really depressing thing that makes it less awful is at least Okay, well, no, okay. Here's no. Here, I gotta frame this properly. So, like, we had the discussion with Madoka and Homura, um, after Mommy died, with Madoka talking to Homura about Mommy's death, all of that, and Homura was talking about how it's like, that's just what it is to be a magical girl. It means when you die, when you're gone, no one will remember you ever, right? And Madoka was like, oh well, I'll always remember Mommy, and it led to her saying she'll always remember Homura too. Of course, the irony in that moment was the fact that from Homura's perspective, right, Madoka, of course, had already forgotten Homura a million times over. Um, but at least, just like Madoka wanted someone to hold on to Mommy's memory, Homura exists. Homura remembers Madoka, and just like Madoka would have wanted for everyone that she cared about, like Mommy, like Homura, when they would have, when they died or would have died, like in Homura's case, right, from Madoka's point of view, then at least someone still remembers her, right? I mean, that's just such a like minuscule. I mean, I feel like it barely means anything to me, but I guess it's better than her existence actually being erased from everything forever, right? Um, and then like I guess the flip side of that at the same time is like at least at least her mom and her family. I keep mentioning her mom just because her mom's like the actual character that we get like screen time of, but at least her mom isn't like grieving her, like she doesn't remember her daughter, which is like horrible and really sad. But at least her mom, because she doesn't remember her, she isn't like grieving her. And at least Madoka, the impact of Madoka's wish is such that she, Madoka is still having a positive impact on her mom's life, even if she doesn't know it. I mean, the stuff that Madoka's wish has, I can't imagine the amount of lives it will save. Just everything, right? I mean, stopping Walpurgis Nox, just that alone. So I don't know. I mean, I'm it was a good ending, right? It just makes me sad. It makes me really sad. I feel like that's kind of unfair. I feel like it's unfair to me for me to be sad about it in a way. It's kind of like disrespectful to Madoka and her wish. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's not, right? Because it's like I'm remembering Madoka too. It's like and it's not like I guess I completely understand why Madoka did it. I can agree that it's her right to be allowed to do it, right? Like here, I mean, let's get into the actual scenes here. It's like right here at the beginning. It's like Homura obviously doesn't want Madoka to do this. Just like I feel like I wouldn't want her to either. But again, it's like it's Madoka has the right to do it. Madoka feels like she has the responsibility to do it. On a certain level she does, but it's just it's obviously still different than like the horrible way, like the self-loathing, like pressure of responsibility that she felt she had to do something throughout the show before this. I mean that was kind of like the whole emotional like realization she had in the last episode. And I think it's because of Homura, right? It's because of Homura. Homura is like Madoka always felt like she. Oh God, am I gonna start talking about Madoka in the past tense? That's so sad. Oh my God, Madoka always felt throughout the whole anime that like because of what the entire world and everything, everyone that she cares about, what other people had ever done for her, she felt like she had to like pay the world back for what it had done. It's the same idea of like the cycle of of misery and happiness that I guess is just kind of the basis for everything that happens in the entire show, right? Um, where it's like Madoka feels like she has to pay back the world for everything. Homura is like, I mean, I feel like I kind of said this already in the last discussion, but I just want to make sure my thoughts on this are fully fleshed out. Homura is like Homura literally has given Madoka all of this power and everything. It's like you know, if Madoka feels like the world has given her all of this stuff, like, and she hasn't been doing anything to pay it back, it's like, what she has that opportunity to like actually do that now for Homura. You know, Homura is suffering and actually has given Madoka everything, right? And Madoka, this is her opportunity. This is her chance to pay her back, and not just her, but I mean just every character in the entire everyone, and not even just every character in the anime, everyone on the planet, everyone who would ever be a magical girl or be affected by witches ever, you know. So I guess in that sense she's paying back the world like she thought she needed to, but it's not. The important part is that it's not through that like lens of like feeling like she has to for like this self-loathing like responsibility way. Because you know, it's just the way that she's talked about herself a million times, that she feels like a loser because she never does anything, she never fights, you know, blah 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 blah. She's not viewing it like that now, which is the important part, you know. And it's because of Homura, you know. It's because of Homura. What she sees, what Homura has done for her. She sees how much she means to Homura, and like, and the incredibly depressing thing is seeing how much she means to Homura. That is what gives her the willpower to do this and make herself not exist anymore. So, yeah, I just, man, because I guess it's like, you know, I feel like it has to be that if she always felt like she had to pay people had that she had to pay people back and just the world in general for things that they have done for her, then the realization that she holds this, obviously just like everyone, she holds this an inherent value to other people, you know, without even doing that in the first place, without having to pay people back, you know, just that realization that how much Homura has done for her. I, man, God, it just makes me so sad. I just like, and it's like, and it's not like what Homura has done has been pointless in any way, you know. Like obviously not. What everything that Homura has done for Madoka has led to this. I guess I would just have to wonder. I would want to ask Homura what she thought the answer was going to be, you know, what the end goal was going to be. I guess her end goal was just to, you know, defeat Walpurgis Knocked by herself and just fix everything. Just obviously, it's just that wasn't gonna work, you know? I mean, really, just like thematically, that wouldn't work either. Just because, I mean, like, think about what that would do for Madoka. Like, Homura would be doing everything for Madoka, never giving Madoka the opportunity to, you know, um, pay her back, but like, not. I hate saying it like pay her back because it's not in the sense of like Madoka having a debt to Homura. It's just, you know, that sense to me is like viewing it in like the way that Kyoko was talking about it all the time. You know, about how it's like, so it's not that Madoka feels like she has to pay Homura back. It's just that she wants to. You know, it's her wish. I just, so if Homura had actually succeeded with what she wanted to do and defeated Walpurgisnacht, Madoka would just, I think she would just be miserable, right? Especially in this timeline, everyone's dead. But even if that hadn't happened, it's obvious how much meaning and happiness Madoka found in being a magical girl, and fulfilling that wish for herself. So just the only issue I have here, and it's not really an issue, I guess it's just something that makes me like think, I guess, is it's like, is this really the only answer for Madoka? Like, I guess to me, I guess it's like playing into the idea of like destiny or fate, I suppose. Which I feel like is a relevant thing to bring up because of the way that this, like, we've been through so many timelines, and obviously Madoka's been the same person in all of them, right? She's always been Madoka. But it just makes me think of like destiny and fate in the sense of like, like, has this just been what Madoka's existence has always just been leading to? Like, has she, will she really, is there just, there was never any chance for her to find happiness and a place in the world without, um, you know, becoming a magical girl and everything that represents, you know? Like, and I guess just why it makes me sad is just like the self-sacrificial angle of it. Like, and it's like, I mean, I can completely understand. Like, I understand. It's not like I disagree with her actions or anything. It just makes me really sad. Just the idea that this is just it for her, and that this is just where she was leading her life to be, and this is just how it is, just forever, Like, I don't know, maybe I'm not explaining myself well. I just really wish she could have just lived her life and just been happy anyway, and just had a like I guess that's what it comes down to, is it's so hard for me to disregard her, like, the obvious, like, aspects of self-loathing and like crushing responsibility she felt for her life and the people around her, and feel like that doesn't have any influence still on her behavior in general. Like, I can accept that she has good reasons, and I agree that she has good reasons for the things that she does in this episode and the wish she makes now. But it just feels like the basis for them and just the kind of person she is it just fate? Is it just destiny? It's just, this is how it was gonna be. She was never gonna. I guess I just wish she could have just lived her life and just had, and that's just the depressing part. I mean, that's just the reality of just of a situation like this, right? Because again, I can't be like Homura and say that it's not worth it, and say that I want to reset time and have Madoka not do this, like, because like that wouldn't be worth it, like because yeah, it just comes down to the idea that if there's really nothing that can be done about it and it's not going to be fixed, then that's just what it is. And Homura tried hundreds of times, right? How many times did Homura try? And it would never worked out. So I guess just putting myself in Homura's shoes in that case, it really is. It's just like impossible to accept that this is just how it's always going to be, and that it's just, you really can't just have everything work out like this. I guess in a sense it's like it's going against the idea of the whole, like, the cycle, of God, what do you even call it, of misery and I don't know. Just, I think you know what I mean. The whole idea of the cycle of what a magical girl is, and like the idea that Kyoko brings up about doing good things for others will bring equal pain about in the world. Homura was trying to, like, break that cycle, and in a sense, I think she did through Madoka's wish, right? Because, like, again, the reason why I disagree with Kyoko's position on that, the reason why I disagree that it's like, you know, any good you do in the world will always come back, like, an equal and opposite reaction will be done to you, is because obviously, like, it's not like Madoka literally is suffering from all of the misery in the world through what she does, right? She's able to take that misery and accept it much easier than the people she takes it from. So that's why I just disagree with Kyoko, and that's why I just can't accept that. Obviously, it didn't work out for Kyoko. It certainly didn't work out for Sayaka, but for Madoka, it did. So make witches never exist ever. And I guess, like what does that mean? What does it mean for witches to not exist? Hmm. I feel like there has to be some kind of thematic, like, meaning behind witches that I haven't really, like, figured out or delved into exactly. Like, obviously, to me, I I don't know. I mean, this is kind of just like a vague thing that I don't really have any evidence for it in the story, but it's just what it makes me think about. Like, witches have been, obviously, every witch we've seen and the way they've affected people has been so heavily related to, like, suicidality and self-harm, like, literally, like, it's like the first witch that Mommy fought, it was making that girl try to kill herself. That witch that Sayaka came and saved Madoka from, it was making everyone try to kill themselves. um, when that witch came to attack Homura in the first timeline, Homura was thinking about how she wanted to kill herself. Like, that's what it is every single time. um, so I guess to me, it's like witches. The idea of becoming a witch seems very much related to the idea of committing suicide to me. Um, and maybe that's, like, too harsh in a way, because, like, I don't know. I mean, like, I guess if we're thinking about, if we're removing, like, the crazy magical girl elements from this and just thinking about, like, every, like, just the show in general, I don't know, like, Sayaka wanting to being suicidal after everything that happens with Kamijo, I don't think that would be too crazy, right? Like, I mean, I said, adolescents, people around this age, are people who commit suicide a lot, unfortunately. Um, I have my own personal experiences with depression around this age, and like I guess that might be part of what makes me think about it so much. And like there's the one line. God, what was it? There's one line. God, I forgot what conversation it was in when they were talking about was it Sayaka's funeral, or was it when they were talking about Sayaka was missing? I don't know. But there was one line where they were talking about like, oh, it was all over a boy or something. And it just really made me think about just how witches to me just seem like such an analogy for like suicide, I guess. Um, so like if witches don't exist anymore, I mean, hmm. Oh, then like I guess that interpretation of it. Sorry, I'm tired. Oh man. That interpretation of it to me just kind of falls apart in a way. Like I guess I'm just trying to figure out there has to be some kind of like witches have to be an allegory for something, right? And Madoka making them not exist anymore. Like obviously I understand like what that literally means, right? Like it's like the in a way I guess she's breaking the cycle of she's breaking the cycle that Kyoko and Sayaka suffered through, right? That whole thing. She's taking it all on herself, which is something. Hmm. I don't know. I guess I don't really have any. I guess that's just my interpretation of witches, really. Even though that's not really an interpretation, that's me saying that's what it makes me think of. Hmm. I I don't know. I don't know. There has to be more there that I'm like not seeing some kind of like meta narrative about like what witches are and what they mean. I'm sure there has to be some good write-ups about that, but I don't know. To me, suicidality, that kind of thing, is just what it makes me think of. In terms of like what it means that Madoka made them not exist anymore, couldn't tell you. Like my interpretation of it kind of just falls apart thinking about it like that. So I don't know. I mean, obviously, I can appreciate like in universe literally what it means for witches to not exist anymore. Of course, that's like yeah, I get why Madoka wishes for that. I'm just saying on like an analytical level of like what they represent in the story. She talks to mommy, who of course like think about it, like mommy is the one who told her to be so careful about her wish and to not make a wish that was like purely for another person and everything. And well, she's talking to her now. Well, no, mommy said that to Sayaka, but of course, I mean that's what Madoka's doing in this moment too. And it's like, oh, God, like, I mean, obviously, it's like in this moment, it's like Madoka is kind of living up to the idea, the ideal of mommy, and everything that she represented, because mommy really was like the most, I don't know, the most pure magical girl who really was like, yeah, mommy was the best magical girl in terms of like what it means to be a magical girl. So, and of course, she meant a lot to Madoka, so her talking to her here makes sense. The sketchbook with what she wanted to look like. And the idea that she's becoming Hope when it's like obviously just I think the entire anime, the entire story has been marked pretty obviously by a lack of hope, right? That's kind of been a theme throughout everything that has been happening. It's kind of just been terrible things happening over and over again to every character. Like Homura has been maybe the most hopeless character ever. Madoka has certainly had no hope for like anything in the entire, you know. So Madoka becoming the representation of hope sounds good to me. I mean, hope exists in our world. Is that did Madoka is that are we in the universe that Madoka created, right? Is Madoka the hope that we have in our world? I so hmm. So it's very interesting, right? Like magical girls, they still exist. They still get like corrupted and all of that, right? But they don't turn into a witch. Instead, they just disappear. Um, I don't really know like in what form they disappear. Like, do they go up and like join Madoka in some sense? Do they? I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting to think about. I mean, obviously, it's like it's very like Christ-like of Madoka. You know, it's very much like she is the one bearing the pain of everyone in the entire universe. You know, so it's just like, hmm. I mean, obviously, it's better for magical girls to disappear than to turn into witches and kill everybody, right? I'm not disagreeing with that. Um, I guess I still just have like I guess a negative view of becoming a magical girl in most cases in general, just because I feel like a lot of that is like swayed by Kyubey and the way that he like always approached it, right? Was through obvious manipulation of everything, you know. Like I mean, like the situation Sayaka was in. That's the one I always go to because Sayaka making the wish for Kyosuke, like I guess it is what she wanted. Obviously I think she's happy that Kyosuke was healed and everything, right? But at the same time, it really did feel like she was forced into it, like emotionally, you know? Like the situation she was in was one where it's like if she had time to think about it, like mommy told her to think about it, it's kind of unclear whether or not she would have rushed into deciding to heal Kyosuke right then, right in that moment, you know? And I guess that kind of thing is why just the idea of magical girls in general, it kind of just makes me like iffy. Um, but I guess obviously magical girls still are probably a positive impact on the world, right? So especially now, especially I guess in this new universe where witches don't exist, right? So it's the cycle of magical girls coming up just to fight witches who were previously magical girls doesn't exist anymore, right? It's like they can actually do real good in the universe that isn't just caused by previous magical girls, you know? I still just can't help but just be depressed at the idea of all of these poor girls just disappearing. But hmm. And yeah, I mean, I won't let your prayers end in despair. Hmm. 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 Oh, yeah, all throughout history, right? Is Cleopatra a magical girl? God, that's dark. Like a witch trial, you know? And oh man, think about this scene, right? That it's a witch trial. She would have turned into a witch in this moment if it wasn't for Madoka, you know? And this is a witch trial. I still wonder what Walpurgisnacht is. Like again, I guess this is kind of going back to like the analytical like lens, thinking about like what for one, like what Walpurgisnacht actually represents in the story, you know? I don't know. I don't know. And in that sense, it's like also like what actually created Walpurgisnacht, you know? Like it's obviously it just feels like this inevitable force that's always on the horizon that's coming, right? Is it really just another magical girl? Is it really just another magical girl that turned into a witch? I mean, I guess. Is that all it is? Hmm. So, Harmora still has her magic. She still gets to exist. She's the only one, of course, who remembers Madoka, as mentioned, right? So Madoka destroys the entire universe through her wish. Just rewrites everything. Hmm. And yeah, and just this line is just what gives me hope about everything. You know, it's like she has no reason to despair, right? So it's not like she's actually eternally suffering the despair of everyone in the universe. You know, it's not like that. It's not an equivalent exchange. You know, it is possible to do good in the universe, right? And this is just and this is just the part that just makes me incredibly sad. I just like there will be no trace of her left in the universe. I God, like and I guess it's maybe it's just not fair to think of it this way, to think of the way Homer is thinking of it, you know, that there should be a reward and that you should be expecting something like this in return. Because Madoka isn't expecting something in return, right? Madoka's doing this for Homura. She's doing it for all of her friends, everyone that she cares about, you know? I mean, like she's doing it for Homura, like it's a reward for Homura, you know, for everything that Homura did for Madoka, right? So like, I mean, really, if you think about it, it's like this the suffering that Homura went through is still probably several magnitudes greater than everything Madoka's doing now. You know, Homura did like the same thing. Homura essentially erased her own existence, destroyed her own life, destroyed everything about herself just for Madoka. Madoka's just doing that for her and for everyone else. You know, so I mean, she finally gives Homura. You know, Homura finally gets to move on, right? Like, just like think about how long Homura was stuck in the same, you know, just the same month or however long it was, just over and over and over again, right? And she finally just gets to move on, just finally. And she doesn't have Madoka, but I mean, and if you really want to think of it in like a dark way, it's like sure, Homura was the only one that remembered, but at the same time, you know, Homura kind of was making Madoka and everyone else repeat that same month over and over again too, right? Like, I mean, she was trapping them all too because she was unable to accept. So I just, I guess I'm just, like some part of me, I guess I'm surprised that Homura is able to accept it. Um, the stuff at the end, we'll talk about it. It kind of makes me worry. It makes me wonder if Homura really is able to accept it. I mean, I feel like she is, but at the same time, what worries me is like, hmm, I just don't know. Because here's what I'm thinking, right? Like Homura, she still has her time powers, so I don't think like let's say Homura, you know, decided life wasn't worth living without Madoka, and that she couldn't let Madoka do this. Would her time powers let her override everything Madoka's done right now and just go back? I don't know. I don't know. I guess it just depends on what the rules of the universe are. You know, like if we're in a completely different universe, would Madoka's time power? I mean, would Homer's time powers just like not be able to override it anymore? Would she just go back in time just earlier in this universe? That would be it. I don't know. I don't know. And I guess just like the same way that Madoka realized how much she meant to everyone around her. It's like Homura finally getting the realization from Madoka how much how much Madoka means to Homura, right? Like the ribbons. I hope so. I'll be able to see you again someday. I don't know. I hope. I mean, obviously I haven't really talked about like I don't know where we're gonna be going with the movie. Like where do we go from here, right? What are we gonna do? I just have no. I mean, I guess it could just be a completely just new plot. I assume obviously the movie's gonna have some kind of self-contained plot in some way, right? Kind of how movies always work. So I guess we'll just see. I guess we'll just see. Hmm. Oh God. I guess it's just like you know, Sayaka and Madoka make up, right? Like if we think back to the last conversation before everything that happened, like I'm glad they have this. I guess I just it's just so sad because both of them are so they're very similar, right? And just And I guess, I believe Sayaka that this really is what she wanted, that she did want Kyosuke to be healed. And it's just like so sad because like if I'm looking at this like in the stupid like Cube sense of abstracting myself from the situation, ignoring the individual, it's like yes, I agree that it's better for Kyosuke to be healed, for Hitomi to be able to get together with him, for them to be happy together, or whatever, and Sayaka being around for the not being around for the sake of that outcome might be like better, but like just on like an objective sense, if we're viewing at it with no emotion, it's just like so like I just it's just very sad. But I mean, but again, it's like she Sayaka won't become a witch, right? She's not a witch. She's not gonna hurt anyone. She's gonna get what she wants, right? For Kyosuke at least. But is that worth it? I mean, maybe, I guess, right? I mean, it's just, yeah, it just goes back to like what Sayaka said, just about the idea of having a wish that you'd be willing to die for. And this really is just like the purest sense of that. It's like in real life, that's something that you really never have the opportunity to actually do. There's never really a situation where it's like, oh, if you could, die right now and cure cancer for the entire world, would you do it or not? Most people, I would hope, the answer would be yes. For me, I would hope the answer would be yes. I mean, I'm not in that situation, so I guess I don't know. Um, but like, this is a situation where people can actually be in that position and can actually make that decision. So I guess like I can appreciate it in a moral sense that people like Sayaka and like Madoka exist. It just makes me so sad. It just makes me so sad. Like the way of the cycle. But is it even really a cycle, right? Is it really a cycle if it's if doing good actually is possible in the world? To me, the idea of a cycle just makes me think of Kyoko's thing about doing good being impossible. I wonder why Tatsuya remembers Madoka. It's nice that he does, though. I don't know. I wonder if Homura's like has a relationship with Madoka's family in some sense. I don't know. This the first time they're meeting? That'd be weird. Like maybe. To me, it just seems like would they really just have like a deep conversation like this, meeting for the first time? Maybe, maybe. And I mean, again, it makes me so sad that Junko, Madoka's mom, doesn't remember her. But of course, I don't know. I guess there's two sides to it. I already talked about it. I don't just want to rehash the same stuff. Hmm. So what? So like I wonder how this works exactly. That's her soul gem, and it's like giving off these black things, and she's feeding them to Cube. So I assume they're like the grief seeds, right? I don't know. I just wonder how it works exactly. And I guess Cube. I guess there's no reason to hate Cube in this universe, really. Beyond like just. I guess the only issue I can still have with it is the fact that all of these characters are children. The fact that all of these characters are you know, giving someone the option to make such a self-sacrificial decision like this to become a magical girl when they're still a child. It just rubs me the wrong way still. Even if it really is like you are doing purely good for the universe and you're getting what you want, like Sayaka. It still just rubs me the wrong way. It still just makes me like just iffy on the whole idea of it, just because it's like they're children. Do we should we really give children do we trust their decision making enough to understand the implication of their action to give up their life for, you know, a wish that they have right now at this age? I mean, maybe. I mean, it worked out for Madoka, obviously, but Madoka's a special case, right? And I guess they're doing good for the world, and I guess just like, hmm, let me read this again. Yeah, employed a very different strategy. Yeah, no kidding. And wraiths. So I guess like wraiths. Hmm. I mean, I guess it'll probably be expanded on in the movie, like what they are exactly. I assume, right? I just wonder, like, to me, I guess if witches were just like a representation of like the thing that Kyoko brought up, right? I keep talking about that, the idea of like, um, I guess the natural reaction to the idea of doing good. It's like the equal and opposite reaction of the evil that must come out of doing good. You know, if that doesn't exist anymore, or I guess it does exist, just Madoka takes it herself. Um, then what are wraiths exactly, right? To me, I guess it's just like a representation of like actual evilness that does exist outside of like good that is done in the world, I suppose. Um, I guess I just want to believe that now magical girls are actually, you know, doing pure good. Yeah, it's just the curses harbored by mankind, right? Hmm. 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 I'm surprised Homura can get along with Cupid at all after everything, you know. I feel like it would be such a long like recovery process for her to like be able to think about the world in a normal way again after everything she went through, you know? Like yeah, nothing but a cycle of sadness and hatred. Not anymore, right? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I kind of disagree that it ever was. And that's why I'll never forget the promises we exchanged. Yeah, yeah. Goes into the opening lyrics. At the end here we get a teaser. Um it seems like a teaser for the movie to me. It's just a cliffhanger, right? Um so like this worries me about Homura and the stuff I was saying, right? She has these dark wings that are very reminiscent of like the visuals of witches, right? Like all this crazy stuff on them, right? It's very reminiscent of the visuals of witches, right? Um, so I guess like again, it brings me back to the idea of like the possibility of Homura not actually being able to accept what Madoka's done, you know? The idea of her potentially her having her time powers still kind of scares me in that sense because I think she could undo it, right? That's always an option she has, and even if she can't undo it, it's still like just a terrifying thing to exist in the world, the time powers that she has. And I don't know, just this ending scene just kind of like freaks me out. Like she looks very I don't know, it's very ominous. It's very ominous. That is for sure. Ah, and there's our squad. There's our squad at the end. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I don't know if that's what the movie's going to go into. I just have no idea. I guess I don't know. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. Wasn't there something else at the very end here? Oh no. Hmm. Well, I mean, again, I guess like this I really I loved this anime. It was very good. Um I feel like I have to watch it again. I feel like to me this feels like something that's so thematically deep that it's something you could watch many times and interpret in many different ways. Um, there's like the I don't know. There's tons of aspects of it that I feel like I barely touched on at all, just because they felt like they were kind of outside of my like, um, I don't know, outside of my depth in a lot of senses. Like I don't know. There's just so much about it that's so good and was just so powerful in a lot of senses. I just yeah, I don't know. It's really good. It's really good. I really like this anime. this is the first series we're actually finishing on the channel. So that, I mean, we still have the movie. We still have the movie. But this is the first like anime we're finishing, right? Not counting the movie. So I don't know if people liked it, which I think people did. um I don't know. Hope you stick around for other stuff we'll be watching too. Um I don't know. I feel like this story is something I will always think about for forever. It will always come up as something I just think about. Like, I don't know. It's I feel like this story explored a lot of stuff that is, I don't know, just stuff I don't really think about that much, and it's something I haven't really seen explored that much in other stories at all. Um, I don't know. I just really, I'm gonna have to watch it again at some point. I'm gonna have to think about it a lot. I feel like I want to read like online other people's interpretations of it and stuff. Huh. But yeah, I mean, this was just incredibly good. This was an incredibly meaningful story to me in every way. I I don't know. I don't want to end this. I want to keep talking, but like, what more is there to say? I guess I we still have the movie. We still have the movie. I suppose. I just hmm. I guess ignoring the fact that the movie exists, this was a very good conclusion. I really have no gripes. Like, I have no gripes with the way it was written or anything. I just have my own, like, personal difficulties with accepting it, right? Like, it's entirely a me thing, and, like, me emotionally grappling with the ideas that are presented through the story, right? So, it's not me saying I don't like the ending, that's for sure. It's a very good ending, a very good story. I mean, pretty much perfect all the way through. I mean, yeah, it was very good. Yeah, I guess that's it. I gotta end this. I can't just. I'm not just gonna keep sitting here and talking forever. So it was very good, very good. We will be watching the movie. I guess leave a comment, tell me what you think, and I will see you in the next one.